Greetings. This is Balakrishnan. Welcome again to BALAS Accountancy Special Classes. Well, students, incidentally, I would like to tell you that my target is to equip my students for the future CA foundation course. I find that for that purpose, it is essential that they have learned each and every chapter, every concept of the syllabus of CBSE or ISC +1 and +2. They check only that one. Suppose you are going there with having mugged up something, that won't help you. Concept, have you understood it clearly? Are you in a position to teach somebody what you have learned? That's why, exactly that's what they check. Okay. So concept should be very clear and thorough. Further, I know the quality of this video is not up to the mark. You will appreciate that. It's impossible to earn even 1 rupee through YouTube channel with this kind of an education videos. Okay, I know that well. Hence, I can't afford to employ somebody for shaping my video. I mean, a video editor or somebody like that. A to Z, I'm only doing it. My contention is that contents must be conveyed effectively to the students. After all, this is learning, not an entertainment channel. I hope you will appreciate and bear with me. Well, today, again I am taking up rectification of double-sided errors. Of course, we did a few sums in my last episode, BSE 023. But in this one, slightly advanced special cases, a list of 15 cases I'm dealing with. Now let us move to my sharing section of this video. Thank you. Rectification of errors, double-sided errors, which do not affect the trial balance. But however, there are serious mistakes involved. Hence, we need to rectify it. These are somewhat advanced or complex cases of rectification as compared to my previous episode, BSE 023. Well, question number 1. Goods returned from Zimran, ₹7,000 were recorded in the purchase book. Correct entries, sales return account debit to Zimran account. Debit what comes in, credit the giver. Sales return means sales return of goods, real account, debit what comes in. Zimran account, a parcel account, credit the giver. Okay. Whereas the wrong entry has been purchase account debit to Zimran account. Why? You are routed it through the purchase book. An entry if you make in the purchase book, purchase stands by default debited and the party concerned by default stands credited. So Zimran has been taken care of. Whereas purchase has been unnecessarily debited. We need to credit it and nullify it. And sales return account is a pending debit. So the rectification entry will be sales return account debted to purchase account ₹7,000. There's no damage done whatsoever with the amount. Okay. So sales return wrongly recorded through purchase book rectified. Okay. Now question number 2. An amount of ₹2,000 spent on annual whitewashing was debited to buildings account. Well, students, any repairs or any whitewashing expenses extra are essentially revenue account. When you have spent money on revenue account, you have no business whatsoever to debit the concerned asset account. Okay, only the revenue account should be, the particular revenue account should be debited. Whitewashing is accommodated under repairs and renewal account. So the correct entry will be repairs and renewal account debted to cash or bank. Whereas you have debited building account. Hence, the rectification entry will be repairs and renewal account debted to building account. Simple like that. Building has been unnecessarily debited, have it credited, and repairs and renewal account needs to be debited. So it's a pending debit. So repairs and renewal account debted to building account. And our narration will be amount spent on building whitewashing. Amount spent on building whitewashing wrongly debited to building account. Rectified. Question number 3. An office table purchase for ₹5,000 has been purchased through the invoice book. Well, here the main thing is students often get puzzled, confused whether invoice book is a sales day book or a purchase day book. Keep it in mind, it is purchase day book. Okay. No, the correct entry would have been furniture account debtor to supplier account. Why? An asset purchase. Asset purchase has to be essentially booked in its asset's name itself. So furniture account debtor to supplier account. Now you may ask why you are not assumed it is cash or bank. It's apparently routed through the purchase book means supplier comes to picture. Okay, party comes to picture. It's a credit transaction. Well, since you have routed it through the purchase day book, as I just mentioned in the previous sum, purchase account debtor to supplier, essentially by default it becomes like that. So how will you have it rectified? Unnecessarily purchase has been debited, have it credited and nullified, and furniture is pending a proper debit. So the rectification entry will be furniture account debtor to purchase account, and our narration will be purchase of furniture wrongly passed through invoice or purchase book rectified. Okay. Now question number 4. An amount of ₹1,000 due from Jain Pradesh, which had been written off as bad debt in previous year, was unexpectedly recovered and has been credited to the personal account of Jain Pradesh account. Bad debts written off in the past. At the time of writing of bad debts, I had already eliminated Jain Pradesh from the books of accounts. The entry passed at that time was bad debts to Jain Pradesh account, who had a debit balance and had credited him, and he had been eliminated from the books of accounts. One fine morning, the gentleman says, well, I'm giving you the money. I'm a gentleman. I want to give you the money. Okay, good news. Give it to us. So the entry will be cash or bank account debtor to bad debts recovered account. Why? You can't give a credit to Jain Pradesh. If you give it, his account again resurfaces and comes as a credit. The auditor will ask, you have a creditor, pay him back. Is it possible? No. So he had been eliminated already from the books of accounts. If such an unexpected bad debts recovery takes place, we have an account head, a nominal account, bad debts recovered account. It needs to be essentially credited. Okay, whereas you had given by mistake a credit to Jain Pradesh account. So Jain Pradesh has been wrongly credited. To nullify it, debit it, and our pending bad debts recovered account bring to the picture. So Jain Pradesh account debtor 1,000 to bad debts recovered account 1,000. Bad debts recovered wrongly credited to personal account. Now question number 5. ₹10,000 paid to Kiran Furniture Store for the purchase of furniture as per the cash memo were debited to furniture account. Please read it once again. ₹10,000 paid to Kiran Furniture Store for the purchase of furniture as per the cash memo were debited to furniture account. So what's wrong in it? When furniture purchase, we will debit to furniture account. So it's an absolutely correct entry. Furniture account debtor to cash or bank. You will mention it's a correct entry, hence no rectification required. I'm not so sure in ISC or CBSE they may test you like that, but essentially such things will be tested in your CA fundamental. Why? Because there they ask how strong with the fundamentals a student is. So such questions are inevitable. Okay. Question number 6. Goods cost ₹2,000, sales price ₹2,400, distributed as free samples among prospective customers were not recorded anywhere. So it's a pending case of an omission. Just to bring the proper entry into the picture, the matter gets solved. So free samples or advertisement account debtor to purchase account. Of course, you may ask why purchase account? Any purchase made originally, we had debited purchase account. Any diversion of that purchase for non-trading purpose means you have to give a credit to that. That's the rule. So purchase has to be credited. In what are the ways it may be diverted for non-trading purpose? Suppose the proprietor takes for personal use, again purchase will be credited. Okay. So here the expenditure concerned is free samples, or in other words, advertisement account debtor to purchase account. Okay. So question number 7. Outstanding telephone charges rupees 660 had been completely omitted. Again, a case of omission, proper entry. The concerned revenue expenditure has to be debited telephone charges, and a liability outstanding telephone charges 660. Any expenditure not paid or pending to be paid at the time of finalization has to be credited as a liability. Okay, I don't want to say more about it. When we take up the final accounts, we'll be discussing it in detail. So telephone charges account debtor to outstanding telephone charges account. Question number 8. A credit purchase of rupees 1,200 from Mr. Roy was passed in the books as rupees 1,800. So this is a case of wrong amount only. In the purchase book, only you entered. So no damage done in that way. Okay, but the amount is wrong. What is the net effect? Purchase account, a debit. Roy account, a credit, has been excessively recorded with 600 rupees each. So the reverse entry to the extent of rupees 600, if we make, the rectification will be effective. So Roy account debtor 600 to purchase account 600. If we incorporate this rectification entry with the wrong entry, obviously we will get back to the correct entry. And narration will be excess amount passed in the purchase day book rectified. Next one. Question number 9. Wages paid rupees 3,980 were recorded in the cash book as rupees 3,890. This is also wrong amount. Recorded in the cash book means the debit as well as the credit aspect has gone wrong. A wrong entry in the cash book means cash difference will surface. So you must have noticed it the same day evening while verifying the cash. Okay. So naturally the same day evening itself, you must have proposed this journal entry. Otherwise, it's a very serious lapse. Okay, whatever it is. So what is the net effect? Wages as well as the cash account stands accounted to the extent of rupees 90 less. So make a supplementary entry. Debit wages account 90 and credit cash account 90. If we incorporate this entry with the wrong entry, we will of course get the correct entry. And we will show the narration. Wages paid recorded less in the cash book rectified. Next one, question 10. Machinery purchased on credit from Brahman for rupees 2,000 recorded through purchase book as rupees 16,000. Two mistakes. An asset purchase should not be entered in the day book. I already explained to you. And next one, instead of 2,000, you have shown an amount as 16,000. Okay. So correct entry, what would have been the correct entry? Machinery account debtor to Raman, 2,000. You are an expert by this time. Okay. Machinery is to be essentially debited with 2,000. So machinery account debtor, 2,000. Ram has been excessively credited with a net amount of 14,000. That is 16,000 minus 2,000. So debit him with the same amount to nullify that mistake. Yes. And purchase account has been unnecessarily debited with 16,000. So have it credited with the same amount. And the rectification entry will read like this. Machinery account debtor 2,000, RAM account debtor 14,000, to purchase account 16,000. And our narration will be machinery purchase wrongly entered in the purchase book and also with the wrong amount, now rectified. Okay. Question number 11. A check of rupees 4,000 received from Y has been dishonored. It has been posted to the debit of the allowances account. Well, you know, when you deposit a check from a party, the entry will be bank to Y. Y being the party. Okay, bank to Y. Suppose the check is found to be dishonored, means we have to reverse the entry. The entry will be Y account debtor to bank account. So Y account debtor to bank account is the correct entry. Whereas you have shown, instead of Y account, you have posted it to the allowances account. They have shown it has been posted only. That means the cash book you have certainly shown by Y. But while posting, a mistake has been made. Okay, so one account has been operated instead of the proper another account. Okay, so what's the wrong account you have debited here? Allowances account. What should have been debited instead? Y account. Okay, so debit Y account and credit the wrong account you have shown, that is allowance account. So Y account debtor to allowance account, that will rectify the mistake. Post mistake from the cash book rectified. Mind it, this is just a post mistake only. The bank, in the credit side of the bank you have shown, so bank you have properly accounted for. While shifting or while posting the entry from the cash book to the ledger, a mistake has been made. One Y account I should have debited, instead I have debited allowances account. Hence this rectification entry. Y account debtor to allowances account. Okay. Now, question number 12. Received a bill receivable of rupees 18,000 from Ganesh, but recorded in the bills payable book. Well, I have not taken up the chapter bills of exchange, but just keep it in mind, when we receive a bill from somebody, the entry will be, it's a real account, bill receivable account debtor to credit the giver to Ganesh, bill receivable account debtor to Ganesh, 18,000. That's the correct entry. Similarly, when I give a bill to somebody, debit somebody and credit bills payable account, the entry would have been Ganesh account debtor to bills payable account. So you have unnecessarily treated the bills receivable as a bills payable. So instead of showing in the bill receivable book, you are shown in the bills payable book. So entry wrongly what you have shown is Ganesh account debtor to bills payable account instead of bill receivable account debtor to Ganesh account. So how to rectify it? Bills payable has been unnecessarily credited. We will immediately debit it. So bills payable account debtor 18,000. Bill receivable is pending a debit. So we need to debit it. Bill receivable account debtor 18,000. To Ganesh, the entire amount of 36,000. It is not that just like that we have put it. A party instead of debiting, if he has been crediting, or a party instead of crediting, he has to be debited. The amount to be rectified will be double the amount. Okay. Ganesh has been unnecessarily debited 18,000. To nullify that mistake itself, 18,000 is okay. And he needs a proper credit 18,000. So 18 plus 18, 36,000. And the final rectification entry will be like this. Bill receivable account debtor 18,000. Bills payable account debtor 18,000. To Ganesh account 36,000. The narration will be bill receivable received wrongly credited in the bills payable book rectified. So next question, question number 13. Goods taken by proprietor worth rupees 1,000 have not been recorded in the books of account at all. Basically, it's a case of missing entry. The correct entry is drawings account debtor to purchase account. We should simply show the correct entry there. Now, why this entry is like this? Any removal by the proprietor for non-business purpose, for a special purpose, has to be essentially debited to an account called drawings account. You will learn it all when I will be introducing you to the trading profit and loss account and balance sheet. I mean the final accounts. Okay. For the moment, just keep it in mind. Any removal by the proprietor for a special purpose has to be essentially debited to drawings account. As such, we are debited it. Now, why purchase has been credited? I already mentioned previously that any diversion of the goods for non-trading purpose has to be credited to purchase account. Let me tell you, suppose you purchase some goods for 100 rupees and sold it for 125 rupees. What is the gross profit? 25 rupees. Suppose it so happened, the proprietor took home 10 rupees worth of goods. So what's the goods he applied in the business for selling purpose? 100 minus 10, 90 only. That has to be compared with 125, and the GP is now 35 rupees. Okay. So to get the correct purchase applied in the business, any purchase diverted for non-trading purpose has to be credited to purchase account so that the purchase originally debited will suitably get reduced. Okay. So the correct entry is drawings account debtor to purchase account. And our narration is goods taken by the proprietor for personal purpose, not recorded, no, rectified. Okay. Question number 14. Goods retained prior rupees 12,000 were recorded as rupees 12,200. The correct entry is pre-account debtor 12,000 to purchase return account 12,000. Why the entry has to be like that? When purchase goods gets retained, we enter in our day book purchase return book. An entry there, any entry in the purchase return book implies that party has been debited and purchase return account has been credited, because purchase return of goods, real account. So this is the correct entry. Pre-account debtor 12,000 to purchase return account 12,000. They have done, as far as the accounts operation is concerned, they have done except the amount erroneously entered. Instead of 12,000, they have shown 12,200 for both the accounts. So we have to reverse to the extent of rupees 200. The rectification entry will be purchase return account 200 to pre-account 200. What you have done? Simply reverse the accounting head pre-account to purchase return account, which has been operated with the wrong amount, but with the rectification amount. Okay. Now let us check it. Purchase return account 200. If you incorporate that entry with the purchase return account 12,200 credit, that credit minus this debit, it comes back to 12,000 net credit. Similarly, pre-account credit rectification, what you are showing, if you incorporate it with the pre-account debit 12,200, the debit comes back to 12,000. Okay. So the rectification entry is purchase return account debtor 200 to pre-account 200. And the narration will be excess amount of rupees 200 recorded in the purchase day book rectified. And the last one, question number 15, an amount of rupees 4,500 spent on extension of buildings was debited to buildings repairs account. My student, any extension done to an existing asset is nothing but acquiring some more of the same asset. Okay. So asset account has to be essentially debited, whereas you have wrongly debited building repairs account. Okay. An extension of any existing asset means practically you have purchased the same asset a little more. So the correct entry is that buildings account debtor 4,500 to cash or bank 4,500. Whereas the wrong entry is that instead of buildings account, you are debited buildings repair account. Okay. So what do we have to do now? What's the rectification entry? Buildings account 4,500 is pending a debited. Unnecessary, you are debited buildings repair account 4,500 credited. Okay. So our rectification entry is buildings account debtor 4,500 to buildings repair account 4,500 with the narration extension of building wrongly accounted rectified. Okay. Well, student, 15 number of cases of rectification I explained it today. I hope it has helped you. Okay. Take care. See you soon.